Welcome back to Factorio SpaceX Extreme Mode. Launched almost 1100 satellites, plus another 300 specific SpaceX rockets, and we've got all these still to go, along with the final faster than light propulsion. That is not what we've been looking at recently, though. We've been looking at our copper expansion, and I've finished all of this, and would you believe I have exactly one rail left, none in here. And if we have a look at the engineering train, there is no rail there either. We finished the whole thing with exactly one segment of rail left. Anyway, that saves me a trip back to the engineering depot for now. And I am here because we can start renaming these stations, and what we want to call them. What do I call I call it Iron Ore West, so this will be Copper Ore West. Copper Ore West. And we want to copy that and put it on all of these. Hopefully I have them under radar. Whoops, I was in radar view. I have it under radar, so I can do it without actually having to run up and down the aisle. So those are the Copper Ore Wests. Now, actually I could probably have done this using the radars as well. This one is Iron Plate Pickup West. Copper Plate Pickup West. Copper Plate Pick Up West. Bit of a mouthful. So is this one. So is this one. So is that one. It would seem that we need exactly 6 speed modules to finish off this build. Well, since we didn't need to go back and get nukes and things, what I will do is I'll order in the speed modules, and I'll order in some nukes just to help us out as well. So, speed modules, let's get 10 just in case. Now, nukes. Maybe I'll just get 200. And I guess a little bit of this ammo, 600. Just bring a few things. And that will keep the biters out of the way. Now, the next thing that we need to do is come over here and start redirecting copper trains. So instead of going to the main base copper unload, you'll go to copper 6, then you, whoops, I just told you to go, no. You need to go to Copper Ore West until inventory empty. We'll get rid of that station altogether. Send you there. Now you, instead of that one, we want you to go to Copper Ore West until inventory empty. That one can be deleted. Now, you Copper Ore West until inventory empty. Off you go. Get rid of that one. Go, guess what, to Copper Ore West until inventory empty. If you go, get rid of that one. west, or west, or west. Or west until inventory empty. I might let you unload here. One there can be deleted. There we go. You add copper ore west till inventory empty. That one can be deleted. You can be add copper ore west until inventory empty. Off you go. Get rid of that one. Now what have we got? Copper ore west, copper ore west, copper ore west. That's probably not the most efficient way of doing it. What we should do is not that either. What we should do is come over to one of these stations and say, who is coming here? Okay, that guy's already in the graveyard. You don't need that one. You should be copper 2, and then copper ore west until inventory empty. Go there instead. Delete. Only 3 left. Add copper ore west. 1 until inventory empty. Off you go. Delete that one. This guy. Add copper ore west until inventory empty. Delete that one. And the last one. Add copper ore west till inventory empty. Delete that one. There we go. There are now no trains coming to copper ore unload. Excellent. We still have stone trains coming in here. What I am going to do is just take off that one. And you are going to the stone unload. Where are you at the moment? You stuck up here? Not sure. How's copper ore west going? Oh, we're blocking the ones up here, so it's only able to load up these ones. But otherwise it's working. How many trains do we actually have coming to copper ore west? 3, 6, 9, 11. We've already got 11 trains coming to copper ore west. That's not too bad. No wonder copper was doing okay. I realise this has gone over 1100, but if we look in the main base, main base science, we are starting to get a little bit of space science now, so that's good. But you know, we can let it build up. It's not a problem. So that has redirected copper. I still wanted to know about stone, didn't I? 3.9 million. Yes, this one is definitely getting lower. You go to stone 1. You let's just delete that. Right, perfect. So copper is no more. Main base iron ore. We have iron plate, but that's fed from this side. We have no iron ore. That's fantastic, although we probably actually do. Let us start moving the iron ore trains to Iron Ore West. Starting with you, MB unload, Iron Ore West. Until inventory empty, and off you go. Now, I bet you we do not have this one here. That one. So we actually have 8 trains that... Oh, what's this one doing? Oh. Iron in the way too. These ones aren't even loading up. So there's 2 trains that we need to attend to them in a different way. Iron in the way. That same one, yes, it's the same thing. So those 2 actually need some help. We need to get this tiny little bit of remaining ore sorted out. But these other ones, Iron 4, your next stop should be Iron Ore West until inventory empty, and you never need to go back there. Your next stop should be Iron Ore West until inventory empty, and you never need to go back there. Go there instead. This one here. Iron Ore West until inventory empty, and you never need to go back there. Iron Ore West, inventory empty. This one. Iron Ore West. That's this one. Ore West. Inventory empty. Go there now. Don't go back there. And these 2 that are iron in the way. Iron Ore West until inventory empty. Finally, this one. Iron Ore West. Inventory empty. Voila. So, none of these stations have trains coming in anymore. We have completely disabled the main base train entry. Now, I basically need to come to the main base and empty the ore from this section, which will be a fun little exercise. Let's run back to our engineering train. Take me to engineering unload. I'll take West End off for the moment. And we can enjoy this little ride back, or I can cut it out, which might happen as well. And we've got a little bit left over. That's fine. So, this should be fairly safe right at the moment. How do we bleed off the ore that's left in the system here? Very good question. It should be fairly simple. What we will do, we basically need all 15 to, first of all, be making iron plates, then all 15 will make copper plates, then all 15 will make stone bricks, and that's how we'll get rid of all the oil. Oil. Or, similar, isn't it? Not really. Okay, so for it to all be working on iron plates, if that was 1.5 million, I'm pretty sure now it will be saying, well, 1515 will mean that every single one will be doing iron plates. Now this is because we were out of iron ore, but basically we never used these top ones for doing iron. They only ever were doing copper or steel or sometimes stone bricks. So now they're doing iron ore. And as you can see, they do have a bit to get through. So this is going to be a bit of a rinse and repeat process all the way across. Wonder what are we doing with iron plates at the moment? 233,000. Copper's dropped right off. But yes, we just need to keep doing this until every single one of these furnaces is dry. This is just to save me having unearth ungodly quantities of ore, raw ore, sitting in the main base, which I certainly do not want. 260. So this is going to take a little bit of time. We've set, if you're wondering just how all of this works, I mean, it's a little bit convoluted. It's much more simple if you just do iron and copper. If you just do iron and copper, you can just do a simple ratio between the two, and that's pretty much all you have to do. You wouldn't need this line of combinators. Just pretty much one at the start, or over here for the whole line. And certainly in version 14 and earlier, I didn't consider it worthwhile trying to do it for everything, because the stack inserter bonus takes you up to 12. The stack inserters, and so that's an issue. Whereas your steel needs multiples of 5 plates, so 12 isn't a multiple of 5, so that's an issue. I saw somebody trying to get around the issue by making sure there's like 60 in here. I'm sort of doing something similar. I've changed this, the amount this moves to 10, so it's a multiple for steel and it's a multiple for stone, and then all of this stuff basically just tests to see if there's enough. It won't, if it's steel that it wants to move, it won't move any unless it can move 10, and in that way we never get a build up of stuff in here, and that's why we need all this extra circuitry. I mean, would I bother with that in the future? Well, maybe. I mean, if I'm just planting a blueprint from a blueprint book, and I've already got it, and I've got it basically working, I could. I probably wouldn't build it 60 long ever again. That was probably too long. I had my previous mega base with 30 long stacks, and they seemed to work fairly well. Of course, it wasn't building to the extent of this one. It was building a bit over 100k plates in total, and that was fine for my objectives in that game. But this one is pushing the limits somewhat, so we needed to go bigger, and I think we probably, to be honest, we probably overdid it. But you know, we had to have such a huge base in vanilla rail world. There really isn't space. We would have spent a very long time killing bugs off without making any progress at all at the beginning, which would have been very tedious. So, I mean, I was frustrated trying to get this online and to get it building stuff so that it could help build itself anyway. So I don't know. I mean, maybe the way of the future. Oh, good. We are running out of ore very quickly, and very soon all of these things are going to turn off. And actually, they're all turning to copper, which is quite funny. It's sort of what I wanted them to do, but I'm a little bit surprised that that's what they're doing. Okay. You can now be copper plate in the amount of lots. So these bottom ones probably almost never produced copper, so they'll have quite a stash of it, and quite probably the ones at the very top pretty much never had copper, so they also will have quite a stash of it. So it's the same sort of process again, just burning off the copper. But getting back to my thoughts, I'm kind of, for a future playthrough, what I might consider that building a base almost needs to be a three-step process. Your first starter base to get you up and running, which obviously is belt-based, then your interim main base, which potentially uses dynamic smelting to keep it nice and compact and is fairly centralized, and from that centralized main base you can then build a very extensive decentralized processing system where, you know, probably everything's decentralized. Well, at least all of your circuitry and maybe all of your science ends up being decentralized. Quite a thing to set up in terms of your rail setup, but the lower UPS draw, which I guess we'll see if it really is I mean, it should make a fair difference. We'll find out soon enough. How many robots are busy at the moment? Not so many. Got 100 copper there. What about at the top? 192. At the very bottom, 220. So it is these ones at the bottom that were pretty much always making iron plate and very rarely making copper that have most of the ore. How's our production? 242,000 copper plate per minute. At least we're over 400k again for the moment. It's kind of fun. Space science jumping around a bit. What's 10 minutes on space science? 2.1 thousand a minute. So we are actually doing our 2 launches a minute. In fact, slightly better than 2 launches a minute. So that's good. While we wait, let's have a look at all-time production. 1154. We will hit 2 billion, I'm quite sure. In fact, these will both be Gs before long, giving us the right to claim gigabase status, I believe. Not that there is a formal definition of that, but certainly if your plate production, all-time plate production, needs a G to register how big it is, that seems to be fairly a good claim to stake on gigabase. Some people seem to think that a belt-based base can be considered a megabase. I'm not really sure that that's possible anymore. I mean, my little starter base had 8 lanes of... by the time it got past, say, the circuit production, we had 8 lanes of iron, we had 4 lanes of copper, we had 4 lanes of green, we had 2 lanes of red, we had 1 lane of processing units, we had a lane of all these compressed, a lane of steel, a lane of stone bricks, a lane of stone, and a lane of coal, and that was my starter base. I didn't consider that a mega base. So yeah, some people are using the terms a little bit freely. Or mind you, it's really the eye is in the beholder, the eye of the beholder. But yes, beware of imitators claiming things that they're sort of not. I'm not really sure you can have a belt-based mega base anymore. How's our 90 module, our level 3 modules? 90,000, 89,000, 82,000. That's good. They're getting up there. I think they're currently set to go to 100,000. Yes, 100,000 of each one for now. We need 200,000 for the final science. How is our burn off going? It's going very well. In fact, it looks like there is no more copper in the system at all. Good. So, we don't need to burn off steel. We do need to get out of that mode. We don't need to burn off steel because we can use the copper plate, but we do need to burn off the stone, although we can use some stone. I think I would rather convert to stone brick. So that should have most of these operational. I'm not sure why this isn't. Maybe there is a fault. There may have, like the stone brick was not used so often, so there may have been a bit of a fault in my wiring of the condition, denial condition. But I guess I'm not going to worry about it too much because, as I said, we do need some stone brick. So when these guys have burnt off what they can, that will be good enough. I'm not going to worry about it at this point. Look at. It shouldn't take too long because the recipe for stone brick, I think, takes twice as much stone. Yeah, 2 stone. So it should go through it a little bit faster. So there is fairly large quantities of stone brick in the system. After this, we're unlikely to need stone brick for quite a while. And I'm just watching over here the numbers of stone brick going up. We are using some of it though. Some of it's going to purple science, I would think. Is that out? No, that one's not doing anything. This one. I should imagine this is probably the most full of stone, because it would have to not be doing iron, copper or steel to ever get to do stone, so it probably never did stone. So if that gets to nothing, which it won't because it's 102 and it won't let it take the last 2, it'll only get to 2. I think that's how it works anyway. Then that will be it. 32, 22. This really does rip through the stone very fast. And if we want to do lots of paving, we've got 220,000 just about stone brick sitting in our supply chests. How many? Gee, well, there's still room. Still room in here. He's all gone. Yep. And over here, they've all fallen silent. So there you go, we've bled off the main base. And next time, we will start ripping all of this out. Can't wait. See you then, guys. Bye-bye for now.